Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully we are actually live. Do you want to test to see if we're actually live?
Take a wee bit.
No, there's no wee bits of taking. Just it's live. It says it's live. I see the red.
Oh, look, it actually decided to be red today.
I like how it decided to be red today. Bum bum bum.
Yeah, it's probably my phone notification saying that we are live. So now I wait for the thingamy-bob
and then we can get to the thing,
and then we can actually get to it on time.
What do you guys think about the fact that I've got this cover which, hides my shame?
Hide the shame, cover of shame.
Yes, come close so that people will hear you.
I know spay.
What?
I need to type no spay. And you look at this angle of the desk. You can just bring Mike Coon over.
Alright, fine.
Mike Coon.
Alright, were you ready?
I believe so.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and wankum. You with your phone on and your terribleness.
It's a wankum to WAYPN. The weekly WAYPN.
This is what I have to deal with. A complete lack of professionalism, ladies and gentlemen.
And you did not subscribe for professionalism. Let's all be honest. Anyway.
She laughs at me.
I laugh at you, honey.
Yes.
Testing of Sir Testyton.
Yes.
Very nice.
What are you doing? What is happening?
Reading what you have said.
Alright, so we start off with Rowan. Alright, you ready for this one?
Yes. Good day, you lot. Sorry for being MIA for a bit. Life and all that jazz. Well, we're back. To kick it off, I have a new Blood Bowl team and I wanted to do a bit of customizing. The left is a stock standard treatment for Blood Bowl. The right is the abomination that I have made. They have a little bit of base paint on them, but just would like to show some working eye progress shots. I'm very, very slack when it comes to progress shots. We'll try to do my best to take photos along the way. Happy painting and keep those brushes wet.
Yeah, so the only issue I have with any of this is just this progress shot right here.
I will not say anything.
You will not say anything.
I will not say anything.
That's a first.
I know.
Sunny's not saying anything.
Actually practicing restraint. Oh gosh.
Yes. Oh gosh, indeed.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, we do see an update a little later on, so I'm
excited to see the later on. But
here's one thing that I just don't get it though at the moment. So I see the drums and the barrels, right? Like, is he meant to be like the radioactive
maybe
sort of guy that
he might be a radioactive tree.
Oh. Radioactive tree.
Well,
I guess.
Tree could...
Well, like that's like literally a reference from The Simpsons. Like they just keep stuffing barrels of, radioactive waste into the
river.
No, into the trees, and like.
Oh, really?
And they've got arms and all this stuff.
Well, and that makes sense then.
Yeah,
it's totally makes sense.
All right, so
who is this?
Yes, update on the Ogren almost done.
Very nice.
So this guy is the one that went well, and I stuffed up Sunny's when I was gluing it together. So that was fantastic. But here's this guy. Is he going to play?
He might not play because
he
decided to work.
Yes, he decided to work.
I like it.
It's funny, when I put it on so that it's the video one first, they won't let me look at the other pictures. But, yeah, so I'm going to close that one down and open one up, and hopefully the pictures
weird.
Oh, it's Facebook. Guys, when has Facebook worked for us?
Yeah.
Just ever. So I think, I'm really happy with how his skin worked out, because I'm not sure if you guys can notice it, but I did freckling on his skin.
Yeah.
And I think that the skin has come up really nicely.
I'm a big fan of how you've done the boots. The boots.
Oh, you mean the scratches and such?
Yeah, the scratches came out so nice, and it's nice contrast of texture, but it's also really just pops a lot at you, and I just quite like that. And it's got that same scratching on the mask.
I think it's because like there's differences in kind.
Yeah.
So like you've got this very sort of shiny metal with like, and then it's painted over, and it's peeling, and then over on the boots they're very scratched up. But if you actually see the pants,
it's very smooth, right?
Yeah. The pants is quite smooth, and
it's got his skinny jeans on.
Look
at it.
It kind of does look that way, but you know, there's him
Don't
there.
Don't mind the diaper bum. Just see them.
Yeah, no, he's like, I got those apple bottom jeans. But yeah,
boots
so
with no fur, unfortunately.
Yes, but I think other than,
I'm very happy with the face and the scarring that you've done on the other arm. It looked quite realistic.
But anyway, I'm hoping that there'll be people here to mock and berate me, but
not yet.
Not yet. No people here to mock me, so I can move on and I don't have to worry about it.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, more
thanks
from
everyone.
Rowan.
More from Rowan. Yes, I know. He's next up immediately. Would you like to read him while Facebook is not working?
Yeah, sure.
As per usual.
Oh, should I? Okay, now that he scrolled up. All right. Okay, you fun little brush lickers. I have done a thing, and I have photos to prove. First time. Big photo dump, but I'm making up for lost time. Show process for base coat, pre-color, base color, wash, detail, and define. Still not done, but it now depends when I want to just call it done.
Okay.
And this is the standard guy. Oh, look at he's added little
hazard stripes
on this.
So it looks like that's a sort of
radioactive tree concept.
Yeah. Well, let's. Oh, okay. So here we see it like slowly coming to life. So it's got like its nice wooden color on it now, and I think that's just with the contrast. Yeah, I was expecting that with the green.
Oh yeah,
with
that
the goop.
really brings it together.
Yeah, I think when he did that with the drums, I think that's.
I like it.
I don't like for me. I think that the rusting was a bit much. I think like
I feel it adds a nice contrast and framing to the very bright green though. Because previously, before he added that nice rich reddish brown, obviously because it's rust, it didn't quite pop. Like now the hazard stripe really pops. The
because of the values, yeah,
and the sludge really pops, and he's just used like a nice bright color. Well, it's not bright, but it's pale rope coloring, and everything is super readable because everything is so starkly different, and I think that works out in the end. In my opinion.
You know what I like is how much you use your hands, forgetting that we don't actually have any camera here.
Yeah.
But I think now where he's sort of defined the things a bit more, I think that looks great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here's my thing, right? With the okay, so for me, I'm coming at it from a storytelling perspective, right? These are like very rusty barrels, and so with this caution tape, right? It doesn't make sense for them to be this rusted.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Because like essentially, if you're throwing that caution tape around it, you're saying like, oh, somebody found this and they're like, danger, stay away, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So the way that tape looks, it looks very fresh and clean, and it hasn't degraded at all, right? So for me,
okay,
what I think is like maybe just doing some dry brushing or stippling of steel onto the rust or the rusted areas so that they they can be rusted, but like some of it's been chipped away as it was thrown in there, that sort of thing. But I tell you what, it does look very, very cool. And I think like he executed the idea really well.
Yes.
And I think it's got such a nice integrated base. Like, this is one of the things, like, when I talk about basing, right, you don't have to go over the top. Like, this stuff right here, there's barely any dirt visible on it, but because it's integrated with the model, it looks really good. But considering we have roughly, how many tabs do I have open?
Probably 20 tabs.
Yes, so we're gonna have to speed up a little.
But
all right, so next up,
Larry
Hassan flew.
And he cleaned up some things, added a bunch of other stuff. Now I've got...
Oh. There we go.
Alright, okay. Now I've got some more cleanup to do. The never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
The circle of paint. But pretty happy so far. Took it off the base so basing texture can dry. Then I can start working on that whole bit and cleaning up what needs fixing and touching up the robe, etc.
I think that it's looking really good.
I really like it. But he's got so much going on.
Oh, yeah, no. I look at the level of detail on him and...
I feel like this is worse than the Phobos.
The Phobos Marine that we hate. Yeah, no. Like, because I look at this, right? So, let's break down the level of elements here, right?
Oh, yes.
So, on this, we've got a trim. We've got some doodads. We've got rivets. We've got a
time bomb.
No, the gold part is a raised extension. Then the symbol of the Mechanicus.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then up here we've got 2 lots of piping joining places, a face mask. Like, this is just this area, which is honestly the least complicated of all of the stuff on him.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm just like, oh my god,
the body.
I'm tired.
Like, you just take a look at the, what is it considered, the torso to legs, whatever is going on with that tabard, it's quite insane. Like, is it a metal piece? Because it's got some engravings on it, and then it's got a stopwatch on it, and some other dangly things on the side, and then it's got a dial pad, and then look at all the arms.
Indeed. So one of the things that, like, I look at right here is, I think, going further along, let's go back in some of his process. Remember how he said he was liking the leather effect of, he just used a black Templar over this to turn it into a more leather look?
Yeah.
I think that that's worked out really well for him.
Yeah.
Not just there, but also on here.
Yeah, because of the glossy, semi-gloss finish that you get with contrast.
I think it does look very good.
It looks just like black leather.
Yeah, I think it looks very nice. But I, like...
It is very tiresome to look at. And that's no fault of his. It's just how the model is just so...
We're just saying because of all of these details. Because what we're doing is we're looking at it and we're going... All right, where can Larry improve? Where can, what has he done well and what has he done poorly? And when you're actually looking at this model with some level of attention, it just becomes exhausting. Because where's your focus? I'm guessing it's here, right? On the Mechanicus symbol.
Seems that way.
But, like, the minute that you start traveling out, it, like, my eyes are literally hurting from it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues with some of these GW models. They're just so intensive.
Yeah.
But I think he's done really well. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. First off, I think that the black and the white are too stark. I think that he could have some, because I think it's a pure black and a pure white.
Yeah.
Rather than a very, very dark grey and a very, very light grey. and like that way you can do some edging,
Ah,
right? Because at the moment the shapes sort of become blob-like.
It does look that way, yeah.
But I can understand why he's become exhausted by the model, as we've said, right? But then there's some other things that I want to note. So remember how he, I think these are called crenulations?
I think so.
Yeah, so remember how he started off with them, and they started off quite rough, but I think they've come to a very nice, acceptable looking level, right? Like, nothing has to be perfect, and like, if you really wanted real, genuine thread, like, they would quickly become not perfect due to just use.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Wear and tear. So I think that looks really good. I think coloring wise, it's really good. So for example, he's got this green cabling here. He's got the blue in this gun, whatever it might be. He's got the green and the blue here again with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's got the yellows with actual yellow cabling and with the golds. So I think all of that's come together really well.
Yeah, like, although it is a very tiring looking model, your eye can instantly pick out every single one of these extraneous details.
Yeah.
Because he's managed to sort of contrast each piece from every part is differentiated and divided clearly. So that's a very good thing to do on your part, because a lot of the times when you have a lot of detail, you get stuck. You get stuck and you're like, okay, what color should I put here to make it look different from everything else?
And just like the little details, for example, the blue lenses and, you know, the green buttons and green
Cables.
tubing here.
Yep.
Like, I think all of that looks really good.
Yeah.
So let us move on to our next piece.
Oh, it is John Dave Falconet, and he has said whip.
And look,
Whip.
it's really good to just see these stages of whips, because I think one of the things that we talked to Brushstroke about once was, he said, look, you know, I think one of the reasons why people have trouble is they forget that models will have ugly stages.
Okay, yep.
And, you know, he said, of course, they can't make it look that way in the White Dwarf magazine when they're showing the painting guides, right? So every single step has to be perfectly smooth and everything. But some of the times, things will look like this, right? And it's just a part of the process.
Yeah.
All right, so let us move on.
It is
and now,
Joseph, and he has his
evil Santa Claus.
Evil Santa Claus. This is the last time he's going to look anything approaching normal, so I thought I'd share some pictures. Atnas from Kingdom Death. I wonder what he means by that.
Yeah, that... I don't know. I think maybe he's going to start doing washes and stuff.
I hope he doesn't choose to add like blood splatters and stuff, because there's so much red already going on.
Yeah, that's true.
And everything is it is a bit of a noisy model because of all those the hand beard. I'm gonna call it the hand beard because that's what it is.
What it is it, like, I really like the Kingdom Death models, but I feel like this one is one of the worst because of the way that they've designed it.
Yeah, okay.
And the reason I say that is essentially like, they're like, oh, we're going to make an evil Santa Claus, ha ha ha. And like, rather than trying to make their own sort of creature, this thing's design is just all over the place. And you're just sort of like, this thing looks awful. Because, like, you see how this is sort of, you know, poking out, right? If that's meant to be his gut, it should be starting somewhere up here.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the insinuation there, but like, it's not quite a gut. It could be like more of those mutated babies that he's tucked underneath or something.
I don't know what it is, but like, it just... Like,
it's
even even in model design ways, like, you've seen the Gorm, right? Which is baby anglerfish.
Baby anglerfish.
And like, that thing looks wrong, but it looks wrong in a different way to this way. It's
just
like
anatomically all incorrect, you're saying, with
yeah,
this one.
yeah. So it's that Ralph Wiggum thing. You know, he's funny, but he's not ha-ha funny.
I don't think he's meant to be very ha-ha funny.
Yeah, no, I get...
But I know what you're saying. He doesn't look right, even in proportions.
And see, like, that's one of the things that I'm looking at here. I think Joseph is basically like... Joseph is going, look at my journeys of being Sisyphus. And I'm like...
Yes.
Yes. So, like, I think...
You are correct, sir.
Like, I think he's done all of the parts. I think that the... candy cane striping looks really good.
The gold is very nice.
Yeah, I was about to say that too, yeah.
It has a very traditional Christmas ornament look with the exact shade of desaturated red and green.
Yeah, yeah.
With that not bright, fur trim. It's also very desaturated.
Yeah.
And you've got that nice bright purple that looks like some sort of, not really Christmas candy, but... If purples are to be used, it's that shade of purple in Christmas ornamentation as well, and it's just
it fits within the color palette chosen.
Yeah. Everything's like just
and
fits nicely.
And I think like that's the thing, right? Like I look at it, right, and yeah, it's all very. It seems to be painted well, other than I don't like the sort of glossy red. But other than that, yeah. All right, let us move on to the next one.
Ooh, Robert.
So, yeah, Robert Meyer was asking a question about Chaos Black. And essentially, I just threw it to you guys. And this is why I love having a community like this. Because some of the times, we can't answer these questions.
Yeah.
Because, like, we've only had one spray recently, which was the Vallejo spray. And we really like the Vallejo spray, but everything else has sort of been
too thick.
Yeah, well, like we haven't gotten the GW sprays because they're just ridiculously expensive as well.
Yeah.
Like
the Vallejo one, I believe, is half the price.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on to so.
Oh my!
Here he is, all finished.
So there's these weird thingies that are coming out. So that's what he meant.
Do you want to read the caption?
Yep. Atlas the Child Eater. Okay. From Kingdom Death, he's possessed by a parasitic jellyfish, or so I'm told. Without the stuff growing out of his hat, the jellyfish in purple has the shape of a tick when seen from behind. I don't think I like the antler parts growing from his hat. Uh-huh.
Well, I actually think this part coming out of him and also adding the baby thing does sort of make him more complete, but
I just don't want to look at it because he's a child eater.
I just don't like it.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with you, Joseph. It's nothing to do with your paint job. This has everything to do with the model.
But I
do think stands for.
I do think like the way he's done the eyes and so on, and the teeth, I think have really helped the model come to life. Mm-hmm. And he's done his classic Joseph basing, which I think is quite nice. Like just a rock and some tufts. Like it doesn't.
It is a desert basing, surprisingly.
Well, it's the classic sort of Kingdom Death basing that he's been doing for a long time. But I mean, like when we take a look at it, it doesn't take away from the model. But yeah, I just don't think I like this model. Just like you, I think it's just not one that I enjoy.
We have seen a lot of really bad in terms of like creepy level models with Kingdom Death, but this one really irks us. I think like incorrect on so many levels.
Well, I think it's because it's both bad design and it's an upsetting concept.
Yeah.
So like we can't appreciate it on either level.
Yeah.
All right. So next up we have
Member Monday.
Oh, okay. Come in. So we have Member Monday,
Ooh,
and it seems that we have a delivery.
A delivery of pizza.
Thanks, bro. All good.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
It was our previous guest clone, Connor Mario,
Yes.
who brought us the pizzas.
All right, so
Thank you, brother.
with the Member Monday thing, we have been getting a lot of new members, and basically the thing is, I just usually have a bit of a rant and say, "Hey guys, this is what we're about," and yeah.
Should we get Connor to pretend guest?
No, we can just move on to the next one.
Okay.
So next up, we've got Larry Hassenflu.
Yeah. So, does everyone else normally have a bunch of completely different things being worked on at one time and have a workspace that needs decluttering at least once a week, or am I the mad scientist of the group? Nope.
No, that's completely average, at least for us. Yeah. Yes. Like, that's the norm, at least for me.
My table's always clean.
Yes, unless we put stuff on it.
And then you put stuff on it.
We do put stuff on.
Alright, so next up, we have...
it's more from John. The temptation of painting my Deathwing black. So he started out with but this is a completely different one, right? This is the original Deathwing on the, what is this, the right, left? This is
I follow what you're saying.
Left. And then this is the I believe Deathwing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait.
They're both Deathwing.
Oh, they're both Deathwing. Oh, right. You know,
one's pre-heresy, one's post-heresy.
I honestly speaking, design versus law brain turn on here.
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer the black for the Deathwing because black and death is more synonymous than with the bone color.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with the bone, you kind of have to force yourself to see it in that angle. Mm-hmm. But with the black, it's just straight away.
Yes.
If you get it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think you've done a pretty far into the process that I feel that if you go black now, it would be ruining everything. So maybe for a different Terminator, you should try that.
Mm-hmm.
And more progress pictures on here. He does look like he needs a bit of cleaning up.
A lot of cleaning up, yeah.
So after a bit of cleanup, I think he'll come good.
I think the washes have gone over areas, and I think he needs to thin his paints to make more, like, sort of, how can I put it?
So that it doesn't sort of clump up?
Yeah, like, at the moment, it's just not clean, is what I'd say.
You'll need to go over with we'll need to tag Justin in this. Justin, please help.
But yeah, I think it's just he needs to have a bit more patience and also thin his paints.
Yeah. Because he was doing really well at the start of the process. He was thinning his paints. Then he might have gotten a bit impatient.
And then he goes in and asks about the color psychology of beige. And like, if this was one of our other podcasts where we had more time, I think we'd be able to talk about such things. But at the moment, I think we've got
still a long way to go.
I think over 20 tabs.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got Joseph Mallon. And would you like to
read the post?
Yeah.
I have no Photoshop ability. Is there a free app I can load an image of a mini in and digitally give him a basic paint job just to test out the paint scheme? I mostly know what colors I want on my next piece, but I'm not sure on which bits I want which color. I can see ImpCat, but it costs money, and I have no idea if it only works with its stock images or not. I have answered this question, but I do agree with Joe. At the end of the day, He's just gonna test paint, do it the manual way than doing it with the app.
All right, can you tell us a bit about that?
So I say that it is a paid app. It doesn't cost too much, but he apparently it's a one-time thing. He doesn't see himself using it again, so that's why he's not gonna go with it. Yeah, and I just put in a link there for the SVG files of certain models. It's not like a whole range of collection or anything, but if anybody is using ImCap and would like some of the SVG files to load a configuration, that's the link that I've got, so please check it out. But we can move on to another one from John. Decided to try out Black Armor, Dark Angel. So he's done another one.
See, the bone armor looks much cleaner here. And I think that's what he should be aiming for with the Terminator. I feel this black is a bit too blue, if you see what I'm saying. Take a look at it.
I feel like that shows a lot in the sword, but not as much in the armor.
Take another look.
No.
There is a lot of blue in this black. Take a look at it.
Might be the edge highlighting. I think when in this particular picture, yes.
I think if you want to go black, it's okay. It's just you're going to need to deepen those shadows because currently it's more very dark grey at the moment, or almost a very dark blue.
But I do think the lighting that he's using is too bright.
Yeah.
It's very bright, so it's difficult to really tell. But when you use a different color highlight to the body that you're using, it suggests that the color that you're going for is not a true color. Like, for example, if you want to go true black, your highlights should be grays.
Yes,
right?
yes.
If you have a black base and you want to give the impression of black armor, but you're highlighting with a colored highlight, for example, purple or blue, that suggests that it's not a true black. It is just a really dark purple, so dark that it looks black. That's why in the light, when it hits it, it brings out some of those colors. So you might want to decide on that, because I know some GW models, like with the Chaos Legionaries, the box art does this. They're meant to be black, but then they've used like a blue edge highlighting to insinuate that it's a very, 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 very deep dark blue rather than it being a black.
Yes,
so
yes.
If you do too much of that, your model won't read like the color that you want, which we talk about in our video, how to make your colors read better.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something you want to pay attention to. If that's something you're going for, fine, but it might need to be toned down a bit more. Yeah.
All right. Next up.
Sorry.
It's more from John.
Okay, let's just take a look. So yeah, in this one it doesn't seem as blue, but I can see that hint of like bluishness, blue tone in the black. Maybe this is a different one, or is it the same? Yeah, it's a different one, right?
Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. I do, however, think that it needs a better base coat.
Yeah, it's a bit thin.
Yeah, it's a bit thin, and that shows.
Yeah.
Especially against the other colours. But I think that's about all I have to say on that update there. Right, so
we've got Navi Dion Avalis.
We've got the computer not responding.
Okay, give it a second.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Hello there, just sharing a couple of my current whips. As I've mentioned in a comment before, I intend on using these for an intercession kill team, solely because the Black Templar models look more interesting than just plain intercessors. Apart from being a newbie in both the tabletop and miniature painting, I also need to work on getting better photos. I think some photos turned out well, some other photos didn't turn out so good.
So this photo, as far as focus has done really well, but I think the main thing for you is that what you need to do is get yourself a photo box. And they're not hard to make. So give us a sec. I'll let Sunny ramble while I find that link.
Okay. So we'll just take a look at what you've got here. It seems that you're also going for a similar look with the blue tinted black, I think.
But that is the Black Templar special.
Oh, that's something specialty for Black Templar. I think you've made a good attempt on the electric scythe, I think, with the lightning coming out. But I think that blue that you've used is a bit more of a closer to teal or turquoise. So I think it needs another very bright saturated blue just outlined outside of the white to give it that glowing effect, because I think you did try to do that, but it didn't quite come through, because glow effect requires like the light to come, sort of.
So I think he's very new to painting, right?
Yeah.
So he's having a lot of the classic struggles. So for example, when I look at this cape, right, I think that there's quite a few issues with the cape, right? Like we can see like there's those starts of the good highlighting and that sort of thing, right? But the difference between those areas is just too stark.
Yeah, it needs a transitionary shape.
Yeah. And so I think like I see a lot of sort of decent understanding, right? But the issue is that some of these things are too bold. So what he needs to do is he needs to focus on refining his skills. For example, right here, this is meant to be
muzzle burn.
Yeah, I've forgotten what it's called, but there's another name for it, specifically when they're using things like blowtorches and such, right? So he knows that this area is meant to be blue, right? But see, the thing is, what this should be is like a sort of coppery layer, and then you're meant to have very thin.
So it's just like a filter.
I'm gonna grab the
one that you did with the Chaos Marines.
Yeah. So if you can just talk about some of this, stuff while we're there.
I think you've done an excellent job with the red. The red is very nice and solid. And I can see that you've tried to do a bit of that OSL lighting with the eyes, and extended the red past, but I think it needs a bit of a very light gray trim around the eye, and then go over with that red again to give the impression of that glow. If not, it just looks like you've painted outside the lines.
So here I've done a very subtle version of what you've done, right? Now it's okay to do a bold version, right? Because this is a chain gun. It's not a I've forgotten what it's actually called. I don't think it's a heavy stubber or is it an autocannon? Anyway, the gun itself doesn't matter, right? This is not a flame shooting gun, right? The thing is, you can still see the metal parts here, but you see that blue tint and you see that color shift go along, right? And that's something that you want to try for. So I think here, right, he's got the concept, but when it comes to execution of it, not quite yet. And see, he's got some concepts better than others. For example, these robes, right? Sorry, not robes. Well, there is robe and there is parchment, right? See, it's come out a lot better than his cloak has. So I think work on your fundamentals. For example, I think this right here with the lightning and all of that sort of thing, it's not bad. If this is one of your very first models, that's not bad. So you seem very similar to where Cian was when he started out. And Cian's leveled up a lot. Like, you've got some very thick lines here. And see, having a thick line isn't so bad if it was a much, much darker color.
Yeah, because this is too bright. It's just gone from black straight to a very pale blue.
Yeah.
Which actually gives it more the impression that it's not a highlight, but rather that they've painted on a blue trim.
Or it's, or it's a different material on that area.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, we understand what you're going for, right? But currently it doesn't read that way. Mm-hmm. So, for example, let's say that you had this whole trim as maybe like a navy blue black.
Yeah.
And then you sort of hit this color very thinly on the edges here. That would just be perfect. Just fantastic. So, like, what I want to say is, I think you've got a lot of like the fundamental ideas down pat. What you need is just more time with a brush in your hand.
Yeah, so work a bit more on your execution.
Well, it's about learning brush control.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna take time, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna freaking suck. Because that's the issue with it. Learning brush control. There's no cheat for it. It just sucks. So I hope that we've given you the feedback that you were looking for, and hopefully that comment helps. And next up, we have
Paul Inman,
who is the complete opposite and has a very tidy.
Very atas.
Yes, atas. Tell them what atas means.
Atas means fancy. It's a Singapore slang. It's a Malay word, and that's what you say if something looks fancy. You say it looks atas.
Also rich.
Rich and fancy.
Yes, it looks so atas.
Hey folks, just saying hello. Technically hello again. It's been several years. I thought WAYPN was dead, and all of a sudden I get a video recommended on YouTube. So hi to Henry again. You might remember Only One Pin Man from
I do.
On Tabletop back in the day.
It's actually Beasts of War back when I was
was it Beasts of War?
Yeah, so they changed their name. But continue.
Okay. Great to see that you decided to restart the channel. What am I painting now? Nothing yet. I just moved house and I'm in the process of setting up the new hobby space.
And apparently that second chair is for his daughter.
Very good. They've got the high quality ergonomic chair for your back support.
No, we do not have such chairs.
Yes.
I just
You've got nice gaming chairs though.
Yeah, we got nice gaming chairs. We make Sonny sit in a deck chair though.
Is that a deck chair?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm being sarcastic.
But it is too far back. Like I can't adjust the back.
No, it's the exact same as mine.
Well, you'll have to fix it for me then.
Okay, well you can just have mine in the meantime.
No, thank you. We have Talk Tuesday.
Yeah.
Talk Tuesday. Nobody came. We will move on.
We'll be alone forever.
Yeah, James Salisbury got some more bystanders ready for Marvel Zombies. Mm-hmm. They're looking very bystandy. Except for her on the very end, the white outfit girl.
You know what? I reckon that that newspaper came out great. Look at it.
That's like a decal, right? Or like you gotta print it and then you cut it out and then you put it on, right?
I do not know.
Because it's really good.
It is really good.
Great printer, my dude.
I think he actually painted it. I think it's indented, and he's painted in all of those.
Are you sure? Let me take a look.
I will open up.
Gotta zoom her in.
Zoom her in.
Yeah, I think it is a bit... Oh.
Yeah, I think it is.
Wow! That shows that your brush control has really improved.
Yeah, because you can barely see like just a smidge over here.
Yeah, well done. It looks so good that we thought it was a print cutout.
I did not think it was a print.
I didn't know. Yeah, wow.
See, James, I don't underestimate you. I believe in you, James.
I see.
You know, the woman.
I'm the bad guy.
No, but I think it looks really good, man.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have...
Oh, another one from James. I have a couple of days off from work this week, so today look, he's here. James is here. Hello. Nothing much. We were just praising your good work with the.
I believed you. Rewind. See, I didn't doubt you. The woman. I'm pointing at her.
Anyway, we were saying that you did a really good job with the newspaper. We thought it was so good that we thought it was a print cutout. But
She did, not me.
oh yeah, you did thought it was a print cutout. You did.
I never said that. I said no. I think it's painted.
But you did think it was a print cutout at first.
No.
All right.
Stop trying to save yourself.
I believe. Well, we're about to go on to this post now, James. I have a couple of days off work this week, so today I'm starting a last of my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from Marvel Zombies. We'll be trying to finish them this week.
Mm-hmm.
And are these just how they come colored like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and then this. I'd like you to comment on this one.
Always remember that this is a fun activity. You are doing this for enjoyment and mental health, not stress and worry. Okay. These are, without a doubt, the worst painted miniatures I've ever seen. But they are painted. Yes. This is funny joke. Very funny jokes. I will like it with a haha face. Where is it? There it is.
With the ha-ha face.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says ha ha right there. I'm not a liar.
And Jason replied with this. You want to read this one?
Well, I've got food in my mouth.
Sigh. Albion prison is so dull. You need a hobby. Are you painting these little statues you carved? Yes, I find it soothing. It's really hard. Sorry, it really helps me forget about my worries. The eyes look so straight. Eyes are hard to do! That is top tier memeage and the truth. It is just the true.
The true.
Alright. So next up we have
It is Nicholas Pryor, not Nicholas Future.
You're terrible, you know that. You're the worst.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, continue.
Hi everyone, new here. This is my latest paint job. I'm quite happy with how Magneto turned out, but critique is more than welcome. The first thing I thought was, I think he really pulled off that comic book style very well, but when we get to the cape,
yes, yeah,
unfortunately,
I have very similar views. So, I think that Nicholas Pryor.
Not Nicholas Future.
Stop it! Stop, woman. Ayo. I think what he's done with the basing is really good, but I think when it comes to this, like some bits, I think he just needs to do things more, because that black lining, just absolutely fantastic, right?
Very nice.
And then, the way that he's done the concrete and such, just amazing, right? But then I noticed these, right? And I'm like, it's bits of rebar. Right? Mm-hmm. But you know where rebar is not likely to have its rust?
On the inside?
No, on the outside, because that's where it's going to have, been more exposed to things. So you see
Is that right?
the rings around the rebar, right? Those are the things that are going to be dented and contacting with things, right? So he's made the exterior rusty rather than the interior. So, that should be the opposite way around. And, it's just something that I picked up on.
You wouldn't think that, logically speaking, at first, unless, someone pointed it out.
Well, I think, it's just little things like that. Because I think all of this does really well, except for his underpants right here. Like, that just needs to be smoothed a bit, because, like, you can have those bold lines and that sort of thing, but this just brings a bit too much attention. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She laughs.
I won't say anything. I won't say anything.
It's only because her mouth is stuffed.
Someone might think something else from me. Oh,
no! You are the worst. So, anyway, why don't you say what you were going to say with your cape? Because I think you were going to go on a bit of a rant about it.
The black has exceeded its boundaries. I think we should just, if we went back with another coat of that very nice purple that you've got, just smooth out those over spillage. Just clean it up, and you will have that very nice sort of comic book line art look come through.
I think some of these black lines are okay, so I'm just gonna open it up in a. So right here, the line along here, the line along here, and that line until it gets really fat down the bottom. Those lines are great, but when this line comes and spreads, no good, right? So it's no longer stylized.
Yeah.
It's more like
it looks like a mistake.
Yeah. And so I think, like, I was really impressed with this. So one of the things that we try and do here, Nicholas, is we say, all right, what level of thing are you going for? And I was like,
standard. What level of standard?
Oh, yeah. What level of standard are you going for? Are you going for tabletop? Are you going for showcase? Are you going for character level? And I thought, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, you're definitely going for showcase level, right?
Yeah.
Until I basically saw the back. And, like, that did that for me. But I think you've got an amazing paint job here. I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
Monkey's ears, yeah.
Not the ears, the part between the legs.
Yes, but you would like me to be civil online.
Yes, because you will say everything. You look at me like you don't, but you do. What? It's not as if I've got video evidence of it.
Okay.
Alright, so next up we have...
Sorry, my thing was not scrolling. Forge Kuchuan, he says, almost done. Up next, some firepower.
So...
let us see who is the firepower.
We will see whether the computer responds. So, okay, yep, it's changing alright, but just not at the rate we would like. So next up, he's going to be doing this Primaris Repulsor Executioner, and he is doing up these Terminators. I don't think Terminators can go in there, can they? Someone inform me. Can the Terminators do the thing?
It looks big enough for a Terminator. Right?
No, it is not, because the Terminators are super big. But I'm going to take I think... once we see everything come together, that's when I'll make more commentary. But for now, what I'm going to say is thank you, Forge, for sharing your journey with us. All right, on to the next piece.
James did the test model. Then, after being happy with the end product, I sprayed the base color, did a blue tone wash, and did some ash gray in the key areas. You can see in the pictures, hopefully at the end of the week, they will be ready for the tabletop.
Yep, so I think we have another picture of these a little later on. I think the only thing is these are sort of very similar to the other shield agents he had, where they, like, their bases very much matched the uniforms.
Yep.
I do think that with the guys with the shields, it's not nearly as bad because they've got the shield to break up all that color. But we will look up a bit further and we'll see a bit more. So here is what Forge was working on.
Ooh. Progress so far on the Repulsor Executioner. Still waiting for the modern Earth bases to dry for the Terminators.
That's what that
the crackle effect.
Yeah, and hopefully that will be.
Yeah, because I was like, what is this black tar-like thing? And I was like, what is going on? It's like, oh, it's a modern Earth.
Forge has revealed his true heritage. True. It's black tar.
Black
something
tar.
or other. Alright,
so... now we have more from John.
Yep.
Dark Angel's Blade Guard Whip. The shield wasn't intentional, but it looks cool.
It's not bad.
Yeah. I think with just a little bit of extra, just a sheen highlight, just the highest highlight, it would really help.
I think the skulls need to be highlighted up quite a bit. But with the exception of these black strips that are on this area, I like that sort of color for the gold. I think it looks quite nice.
It's very desaturated, but like now you really need some pops of bright highlight to really make it look like the texture that you want, which is a reflective metal. And other than that, I think it's not bad. Oh, we have Larry. Larry has someone very interesting.
Oh, yep.
The Red Gobbo. After months of fiddling with it, I'm ready to call this guy done unless someone sees something obvious that I missed. Tried a little bit of light OSL. Not sure if it works for the bulbs. I think the exposure on the camera was a little too high too. Should I varnish it? I don't know how the frost effect on the chimney would react. This is a question for you.
So I think that the OSL is just a tad too much right here.
For the flame? Is that a dynamite?
Yeah,
He's
gonna throw dynamite down the chimney. I think just a tad too much, not too much. I wouldn't want to hit it with a matte varnish. I think it looks nice. I think it's very good. I like it. Like,
very story.
Yeah, I look at this and there is not a single thing that I would change other than maybe just a
tone down the OSL just
and like really you could just go over with the white color to sort of with a thin coat and then still just leave that on there so that it's still got some coloring.
Yeah, but then it's just toned down.
Just toned down and like that's it. I think this miniature looks absolutely fantastic, phenomenal.
I'm going to give it a heart.
Yes, I already have.
I haven't, so I give a heart.
All right. Next up.
Anthony Holmes. Hey, thanks for the ad. I collect both Tyranids based on red back spider colors and Gene Stealer cults based on the squishing colors used on my Tyranids. Very nice, black and red. Woo! Very striking indeed. They look very vampire.
I'm not sure about that. But yeah, this is a bit over the top, my dude.
I don't mind it. He's looking...
No, look at the base.
Oh, the base. I thought you were talking about the how many red striping he's got.
No.
Looks like a traffic sign. Like wee-wah. Yes. I really like this tiny guy. What is this? Is this a squishing? This tiny guy is very nice.
I think that tiny guy is one of the new ones. I've forgotten what type of gaunt it's called, but it's a type of gaunt.
I see. I just really
But
like
his
it.
color scheme is very similar to mine.
Oh?
Except reversed.
You did white and red?
So, mine is the classic... it's one of the 3rd edition color schemes. But I think having that sort of what would you call this grey? It's not quite a blue grey, but it's not a pure grey. What would you call it?
It looks quite neutral grey to me. Like a proper grey.
I think with some it does, but I don't think with others. I don't think it looks...
Is it a bit of a warm grey? I don't know. It's very washed down, I think black, Templar contrast or
I'm not sure what it is, but it is like obviously... But anyway, I think the point I was getting at is I think the grey contrasts really well with the black and red. I do think some of these stripes, just like we were talking about with John, like the stripes of the blue for the black are a bit too bold. But other than that, I think it looks really good. Like, I think in some it's better than others. For example, the blue striping here.
Yeah, very subtle.
Well, I think it's really nice up here. I think it's quite bold down here, but I don't mind the boldness down here. But up there, just that very nice, broken thin line there, I think looks really good. But yeah, I think it's a great color scheme. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, I think these are some very nice looking dudes. But
yeah,
I do think like having more of this sort of off cream color, suits just as well, maybe if not better than the grey. But I think he's just sort of doing a showcase, so I think we'll move on.
And John has said something more.
Yes, John has said quite a few things this time around.
Time to put something on the basis. Bought this at the pet store for like 50 PHP, less than 1 USD.
Oh, and I think he sent me a message about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and see if I can find another thing for this. Because we've got another short... what? No. It's just like, I will search up everything. No, I want you to search this place, please. We've got another video on...
how to get all the sand you'll ever need.
Yes. So I'm going to...
cheapest hobby sand.
Get it. So I'm going to grab this and paste that in there for everyone. But I really think we got to do an episode on basing soon. Well, that whole Kelly Do's cream.
Yes, but we also have to finish the current one that we were
We've got to finish the current one. We're behind on the design versus law. We've got to do the shorts.
We got to do the one special one with the
yes, which will hopefully be done this week. But next up, we've got another person, which seems to be more John.
Oh, it is. First minis to be based. I don't know if I should go for a foresty or soilish green look or go for a red/black look. Material for basing, white beach sand.
So James says don't push yourself too much. Well, unfortunately, James, the issue is that we've got to find a way to make the thing succeed, or decide to stop going with it.
Yeah.
And we really want to make it succeed, so we're doing everything we can to make it succeed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, would you like to give your feedback on it?
I think he might have cleaned up the red on the shield just a little bit more already.
Mm-hmm.
I think a forest soil might be nice, but not with the red grass or what?
I think that's meant to be blood or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I can't really quite tell. The basing definitely needs a bit more to it.
I think the other thing is also those black stripes on the side of the cross there. That sort of throws the thing off. I think the green of the Aquila is nice, but I think it could use with some more definition. I think, I really like the sword that he's done. I think the sword that he's done comes up very nicely.
Like a glowing sword, yeah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of cleanup needs to be done with the rest of it. But I think that will just come with time, just keep pounding away at it and hopefully you'll get there, But I do definitely think that black needs to be a bit darker with some more sharp highlights.
Yeah.
Alright. So next up we have
Gareth Higgins with the finished this guild ship for Carnival.
So here's the thing, right? Before it was very basic, right? And it hasn't changed that much. But I tell you what, Gareth is just quietly absolutely ridiculous at freehand. So I looked at it here and I'm like, and I'm like, what's
this? I thought it was another print decal.
And then I look at this and I'm like, holy cow, look at that. Look at that.
Nice.
That looks amazing. Also, the way that you managed to do stylized letters.
Yeah.
They're
calligraphy.
Yeah, well, they're stylized. I wouldn't call it calligraphy, but I would call it stylized. Cause,
if you use cursive, it's kind of like calligraphy, right?
I guess, but compared to my letters, which are just big old blocks, very runic, my lettering. But yeah, I think that looks absolutely fantastic.
But that is the word, yeah, lettering. He's done some nice lettering on there.
Yeah, and this, where he's even managed to do some of the true metallic metal with it. See, he's darkened certain areas
and made some parts bright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, okay, I've got the time. The thing is done. Now I can spare my mental attention on making some really nice detail. And he's just gone full on with it, and it's so good.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and things like this can really attract a person's eye. And obviously, this is a MDF piece of terrain, and doing something like this will completely make people forget that it's MDF terrain.
Yeah.
So I just want to say really well done.
Nice personal touch.
I think you've done fantastically, and I think it elevates at 110%. So we will continue on. And next up we have Forge Katoan, and now the painting begins. And you know what I really like with Forge? He shows his whole process.
Yeah.
He's just like...
Is he another Joe R. Sutton?
Well, not quite, because Joe puts everything into a single post. But I really like this with Forge, because he's just like, and then this bit, and then this bit, and then this bit. And it's just like, oh, cool. And that's the spirit of WAYPN. You get the idea, that's how people paint. They just, and then this bit, and then this bit.
A little bit at a time.
And now a little bit more. And now we're good.
Yeah.
And now it's painted. And now you're done.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it there. And so, speaking of...
James, once again.
Yeah.
The troops are ready to crush some zombies. I know there are differences with the other troopers, but the basic uniform is there. And I heavily used wolf grey from Army Painter as the base for all of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So, when I take a look at them... So, he's got a lot of guys to do here, right? But I did notice something on the bases, right? So, see right here, there's a crushed McDonald's cup or thing, and things like that. So, you know what I really think you could do, James? Not too much effort. Just add some bits of... paint that in, maybe a tan color or a white color, and just paint these little bits white or something, right? Now, the color is only a suggestion. The whole idea, right, is currently, with the way things are, the boots help differentiate them from all of the grey, but currently they blend in with the base quite a bit, sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. So you want to have some visual dividers.
Yeah. And for example, maybe this brown on some of those little pebbles and that sort of thing. Just something to divide them rather than it being
create some visual breakers.
Yeah. Because Otherwise, it's just going to look a bit much. All right, so next up, we've got more Larry.
Ooh, whip wed.
Whipwed.
It's James says he can do that.
Yeah, fantastic, James. Thanks.
It's still Wednesday somewhere. Calling it done on these guys also. The barbed wire on the Warhammer figure was a bloody pain, but there it is. The last picture shows the Ral Partha Warhammer I did in the 80s next to the new CGL one. Someday I'll learn how to do Hazard Stripes freehand, but next time I'll just mask and airbrush before I do the rest so it looks okay.
Yeah, no, I think the thing is that it's
a good attempt.
Yeah, no, but like I think all it is you just gotta have to like even out those lines. That's all you have to do to make it work.
Yeah, it just like make it more like uniform because some of it is like fatter at the top and thinner at the bottom and that sort of thing.
Once you so I really like these mech warriors. I think that they look really nice. I like the little bits of coloring that he added. I think that the barbed wire looks great. Yeah, there's not much to say but I tell you what, you can tell the difference between the current one and the one back in the day.
Yeah.
Look at it, like it just somehow, even though like this one, right? It just somehow feels a bit more derpy.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked a little on the derp side.
Yeah, but we shall move on because I don't have much to say in the way of criticism. I just think it looks nice. You know, like mech warriors are notorious for not being the nicest to paint. Yeah. So next up,
we got John Gass. Another piece of my Voltan army inspired by the away uniforms. White is not super fun to paint. Still a whip. Any pointers?
My biggest pointer would be is the white is too white. It's
very clean.
It's very clean, right? But it's just a pure white.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like majority, yes, but on the kneecap, I'm not too sure if there was a bit of shading or not.
I don't know if that's shading
or if that's natural light. Yeah, I think it does need some gray shadowing and like a very pale gray, not a very like strong gray at all.
Yeah.
You just want like one or two shades down from white and use that to shadow.
I'd agree with that.
Or if you like the Cheetah's Way, Apothecary White.
Oh, I do not recommend Apothecary White.
Soul Bright Grey, yes.
Soul Bright Grey, yes, because there's Soul Bright Grey. Is a lot nicer. Like I would use Soul Bright Grey as sort of a shadowing color for the knee pads. And maybe I might try and pin wash with it.
Yeah, it's a contrast. And just take your time, be very patient. And if you use that just very, what is the word I'm looking for? Not seamlessly, sparingly, it'll turn out nice. And you don't have to spend too much time shading the brightest color on Earth. Yeah. So, yes.
Also, I think that the orange is also very bright. I think it's a super bright model, and it just needs some shading. Yeah. Is what it needs. And, like, you can go brighter with the orange, but, wow, she is pretty bright as it is.
So, you want to use... You could... So, this exact orange that you have used, you can mix it with a little bit of black... and standard like orange, because this orange is a yellow orange. You just want like a basic orange so that it maintains some level of saturation in the shadows so that it doesn't just look very flat if you just mix it straight with black. And then
no. So I'm picking up what you're putting down. She's saying use colored shadows, don't use like a darkened color.
Yeah, don't just straight black mix with it. Use a little bit of your a little bit of a regular orange just to bring some warmth.
All right, I think we should move on.
Next, we got Andy.
Yes, Andy.
Made a start on this gentleman this evening. It's Baron Von Fancy Hat.
Baron Von Fancy.
Baron Von's Atas hat, yes. Possibly a distant relative of Sir Yeats-a-Lot from the game Moonstone. Just started with base coats and got a way to go.
Yeah, no, it's when I look at
Baron Von Fancy Hat. Okay, I gotta remember this name.
Atas Von Fancy Hat. But yeah, no, I look at it and I'm just tired. I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not that it's super detailed. It's just stuff like that with the white inside the red. Yeah, and like the fact that he's got two-toned pants.
Andy likes to do these.
Like that's historically accurate.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of funny, you know.
Mismatched socks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Coming together. Oh, more from James.
So next up,
another big milestone done for me. I want to say some heartfelt things on my mind. I can honestly say I would not have painted so many of these miniatures if I did not have this group. I have been encouraged, supported, and given helpful feedback since joining WAYPN. The want to have something to post each week to show on the weekly review, and knowing that once I finish something, I can then post it where people can see has been so helpful for me for trying to get miniatures painted each week. I did not view each project as one big problem. I broke them down into steps to work through. If I did not have this page, I would still be painting, but I feel confident that I would not be as good as I am today. One moment. And I would not have finished as much as I have done today. So thank you all for your time and support. P.S. Sorry, Sonny, if you end up reading all of this. It's fine. It's my job.
Oi, go back up.
Yeah, I put a heart.
Yes, but I want you to finish reading.
I did finish reading it.
I'm sure there was more. Have you clicked the read more?
This is the read more. There is all of it. You're playing with me. Honey.
But yeah, no, I do want to say to James, like, these are the things where I think people are absolute hobby heroes. So, like, I do feel like a bit of a fraud because this week we have just been pushing with YouTube. And I have done almost no miniature stuff. We've been writing scripts. We've been trying to get things to work. We put out another video this week and we've just been 24/7. And we would like to get more miniature stuff in, but it's stuff like this where we see people just absolutely smash through things. Absolutely. And like, he did everything correctly, the way that he went about things, right? For example, the way he broke down the problem, rather than just going, oh, I've got to get all of this done, I've got to get all of that done.
Take it like, okay, maybe we do a quarter of a box, and then it'll become half a box, and then becomes a whole box.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, he's like, all right, I'll do the Hulk. All right, I'll do Deadpool. All right, I'll do Captain America. All right, I feel I've got enough energy now, so I'm going to do a bunch of the SHIELD recruits.
Yeah.
Right? And what I think James was also very good at was taking feedback on board and not feeling slighted by it. Because, like, with a lot of this sort of stuff, right, I think a lot of our comments, right, it wasn't any digs at him, right, but it's just sort of common sense stuff like, hey, if these guys look all blue and the base looks all blue, you know, it's going to look
blue.
Yeah, it's a blue blob, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, I'll paint some brown. And, like, take a look at, even just in the box, you can see how much of a difference it's made, right?
Yeah.
And just things like that, right? Just, it's not big things, right? It's about going through these motions, right? And, like, the thing is, I think people very much underestimate hard work. Because, like, James and Joseph, They come in each week and they're just like, all right, I got this guy done. I got that guy done. And I think James started at the start of the year with this project. Is that right?
Oh, you might have. You might have, actually.
I think you're...
James, if you're still here, can you please tell us?
Yeah.
When was the start of this project?
Yeah, so I do believe he started at the start of the year. And when I say the start of the year, I don't mean January 1st. I mean, like, the start of the year, you know, early in the year. And, like, look at it. With the exception of a few bits of basing needing to be done, it's literally everything.
It's so many.
Right? And when you take a look at it that way, he's absolutely smashed it. He has gotten more models done per day than I think most people. Full stop.
Yeah.
Even me, who's doing it as a commission job, you know, I think he's done more than me. So
of course, yeah.
I want to say big congrats, James. Well done.
Thank you very much for posting your process and being here with us all.
Yes. So next up we have the funk music owlbear.
The funk by Jason.
So let's take a look.
Whip myself into shape. Just needed to paint something to keep getting back into the hobby groove. Had an afternoon at home minding a sick child, so took the opportunity to paint up this owl bear, a resin mini from Westphalia Miniatures, going for a decent tabletop standard as most monsters only last about 3 rounds before pushing up the daisies. I think the back is too plain. Maybe I can distract from that with the basing.
Yeah, I think with the back, I think it just needs some dry brushed highlights. Like, just give it that, what do you call it? The, what's the name of that shampoo? The Maybelline effect. You know, just give him a bit of a shine line, and I think that will really help him pop a bit more. But I tell you what, that muscle...
Why he looks so muscular in the front and so flat at the back?
Because he's got fur and feathers over it in the back.
Okay.
Whereas this is exposed.
Suppose.
He made it exposed just so that everybody knows.
He's the man.
Yeah.
The man
he goes
of the jungle.
Down, you know, the funk music.
Yes.
Alright, so, and finally we have...
Alex
Coe.
Alex. Quick update on my commission. I am a little over 8 hours in so far, but only 5 of them have been spent painting. I am probably taking too much time, but then again, this is the biggest part of the project. We will see. What is this?
This is
a Necron.
So this
step
is
stool.
A Necron step stool.
I'd buy that.
I can't reach the cookie jar. I need my satan. I need my satan so I can reach up for the cookies. I'd like some cookies, please.
We have cookies, please. Satan.
Please. But yeah, so I do believe this is the throne for the Silent King.
Oh.
So he's got the shard of the Silent One, I think it is. I forget. There's so much nonsense. But anyway, and he has 2 shields that float around with him too. So I think this is really good looking. We'll see where it goes. But I have a distinct feeling that these white areas are going to be absolutely drenched in Tesseract glow.
Oh yes, Tesseract glow.
But it's just a feeling.
Just a feeling. We will do
for the
refresh.
First time?
Yes.
Yes, I am doing the refresh right now.
Refresh.
Alright, so James said, yes, that's right. That sounds about right.
So he's been working at this for, what, is it 6 months?
Close
to 6 months.
5 months. But yeah, it might
look how
be
much
3.
He's gotten.
But I mean, like, that was like us with the
Dungeons and Lasers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We were pumping something out every week, I guess.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's done and we can use it whenever we like.
Oh yeah.
We're looking over at it now.
Yes,
So
but
that we can
there
feel
is
good about
some parts
ourselves.
of the set we haven't. The Kickstarter is not completely 100%.
Oh, you're talking about like the extra bits where it's just like
yeah.
there's one where it's, what is it?
Bear rug.
Oh, there's a bear rug, yes, but I was thinking about the weather vane.
Oh yeah, the weather.
It's got a little cockatoo on it.
Yeah, so
sorry,
it's,
not cockatoo.
a cocktail.
Rooster.
Oh yeah, it's a rooster.
Yes.
Yes, so it's like the little greebles that you would decorate the house with or something.
Yeah, but anyway, we will get back to it. So what we want to say is, James, we think that you did absolutely fantastically.
Yes, well done.
And we're really proud of you, my dude. And we're looking forward to seeing what more you do. You know, maybe, you can take your time on some models now, rather than absolutely hammering other ones out.
Yeah.
And we can see what it looks like when you don't have to hammer things out. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it from us.
Yeah.
So, say it with us now. Keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.